Yeah. Wow. I felt that dance party, y'all. I led it with my girls over there. Felt so good. Felt so good. Hello. Feels good to be at Harvard. Yeah? Yeah, just like sit and think about that for a moment. It's a dream for a lot of us. Whether you're a speaker or an entrepreneur or just a girl who was told she was not smart enough to graduate high school, so she should quit. The brutal truth that most business coaches won't tell you when it comes to actual success is that it's not all about the strategy. It's about self-mastery. I learned this lesson not once, but twice. In 2010, I was a hot mess. 213 pounds, 2 packs of cigarettes a day, bottles of booze, antidepressants, and a lifestyle full of excuses and blame. I was sitting in a doctor's office when I got some hard-to-hear truths. She said, Karissa, I don't know if you know this, but you're 5 foot tall, you're 213 pounds, and if you keep this lifestyle up, your kids won't have a mom in 10 years. Any parents in the room? Could you imagine getting a death sentence like that at 26 years old? I was on a path to destruction. But that wasn't the real wake-up call. The real wake-up call came the next day, sitting on the couch, cup of coffee in hand, feeling pretty sorry for myself, pretty angry, when I looked over at a picture of my mom. And for the first time in my entire life, I didn't see the badass entrepreneur taking care of 4 kids. I saw cancer, I saw stress, and I saw sadness. I got a glimpse into what my future reality was. And in that moment, I saw my kids having to bury me at the age of 40 because I was too lazy to change my life. I made a single decision that day. It rocked my world. In 2019, I'm going to fast forward, right? In 2019, I was courageous enough to make a really powerful decision. So, Karissa, you are called and meant for more. You're going to leave your corporate job, you're going to pursue your passions as a coach and speaker, and you're going to do the damn thing. I had all the confidence in the world. I had just lost 100 pounds of fat off my body. I had just moved on to the beautiful lake house, camping every weekend, riding my Harley. Life was amazing. Until I decided that I was going to take that leap of faith. And that was exciting, yes. But 3 months later, divorce hit, stripping me of my stability, my home, and my friends and family. Then came a devastating health diagnosis. It said, you have Hashimoto's and you're always going to struggle with these symptoms. But I don't subscribe to society's bullshit. I write my own rules. Is that okay? Can we write our own rules? Absolutely. Thank you. So it was pretty incredible, right? I said, no, not me. I can get through anything. All right. So then it just got worse. You know, all of a sudden, business, I was trying to get this business thing going, racking up credit cards, trying to get this thing going. Then the divorce, like the lawyer, the attorney bills started coming in. And then I found myself broke and homeless. My best friend looked at me and she said, you and your family will not live on the street. You will come into my home. So in 2020, I moved into a basement with my daughter. Thank God my son was 18 at the time because I was able to kick him out that way, right? I was like, okay, gotta go. But yes, I was sharing a room with my daughter, thinking, wishing, hoping, and praying for things to get done. But thank God I did not give up on my dream because I knew I was meant for more. 2021 came. I started figuring out this thing called business. I just spent 8 years helping some other company make millions of dollars. I knew marketing. I knew business development. But just for a moment, I forgot who the hell I was. So in 2021, I had a big year. I went from $10,000, broken, struggling coach with nothing but a dream, to living with like money coming in. It felt so good, you guys. Like I made $60,000 and I was like, I think I'm making it. I think I can breathe today. We can eat. But then 2022 came. It was a huge milestone. Because for a lot of coaches, the big roadblock, like the milestone, right, is to get to 100K. It's like a magical number. We want to get to 10K months and then 100K. And we're like, if I could just get here, life will be good. I got there. And I was like, okay, life feels good again. But the cool part about that, guys, is it wasn't about the 100K. I spent 8 years in corporate trying to build a lifestyle of 100K. 8 years for somebody else. I finally did in about 8 months that year. But now I'm going to fast forward one more year, you guys. Because in 2023, something magical happened. My business went through a massive expansion. I went from 5K months to 100K weeks, and life became easy. Life became juicy. But more importantly, is I get to spend my days and hours coaching badass women like you see here today, supporting one another, and that's hard to find. Because a lot of women be pushing other women down to get to the top. So I get to do something I love to do every single day of my life, and I get to make money, and I get to give, and I get to do all of the humanitarian work that I finally love to do. I have done what most coaches, unfortunately, will never do. 1 out of 10 will even hit 6 figures. I'm a self-made millionaire, and that feels good because I don't come from anything but my heart and my home. I was never given success on a silver platter, so I've had to work for it because I believe in hard work. So it was kind of a great year because I was having all this massive expansion. Warrior Queen's Rise got lifted off, right? We're a global empowerment movement here. So I run not only Alpha Queen, but also part of Warrior Queen's Rise. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this thing feels so good. And then all of a sudden, all these companies were calling me. They're like, hey, can we interview you? USA Today was like, hey, how are you, like literally now part of the 1%? I read an article, they would say, I read an article and it was like, you were struggling and homeless like less than like 2 years ago. I was like, uh-huh. It said, what are you doing? I said, shit, I don't know. It just gets easy. When it gets easy and you're like in flow and in alignment, like, it feels good, right? So all of a sudden, everyone starts asking me how. How are you able to get hundreds of leads every month? How are you able to scale a company? How are you able to go global with your mission in such a short amount of time? I've learned to collapse time. And then I thought, journaling, I was like, dude, how am I doing this? And I realized that it's because of who I be so naturally. I learned these characteristics, or what I like to call skills, through all of my trauma and drama. Ever since I was little, I've had to work for what I want. So when I took a moment to sit and think about it myself, right? I said, well, okay, I'm able to make powerful decisions in a matter of a minute. I'm able to upgrade my identity in seconds, which allows me to speed up time. I'm able to I created an unstoppable mindset over the last 10 years. And when I say that, guys, like, because it really is like, that's so generic, it's basic, like everyone's like, build a mindset. But what is that? For me, it's self-trust. Not a lot of people trust themselves. For me, I'm my biggest cheerleader. When everyone's talking shit in their own ear, I'm like, girl, you got this. Right? That's a mindset. But I'm disciplined, I'm determined, I'm organized as hell, right? I have mastered time. I have taken radical responsibility for my life, meaning I don't make excuses. I hear them, I catch them, I release them. I don't let them define what I'm doing, what I'm going to create. So today I want to teach you just one of those skills because I've learned how to master self-mastery. Because you know what you need to do to grow your business. This is where those business coaches like, what you need, my system, and you need this, and you need that. And I'm like, girl, you know what you need to do. Why aren't you doing it? I don't know. I'm afraid of the no. I'm not good at sales. Like they give me all the excuses. I say, okay, let's pick some radical responsibility. I've created what I call the liberation protocol. Because when women can master self-mastery, you can master anything. The body, the business, the life, it doesn't matter. Okay? So I want to teach you one of the codes. Now, this is what people pay me thousands of dollars to get. So if you have a pen and paper, write it down. Okay? Millionaires are writer-downers. Okay? We take in the lesson, we run with it, and we take it. All right. So the big problem that I see actually in the world today is that so many people are paralyzed by fear. They can't make a decision to save their life. And if they do, it takes them a few months or years. Do you know how many women I work with that are like, I really want to get a divorce. I really want to start a business. I think I want to speak on a stage. I think I want to do this. I'm like, cool, go out and do it. Shit, or get off the pot, right? So I teach them how to trust themselves to make a powerful decision, because the solution is a decision. Either way, they're making one, okay? So it's a system that I like to call the aligned decision matrix. This is how I make every decision, whether it's personal or professional. And the decisions I'm talking about, guys, is the decisions that's like, holy cow, this could potentially change my life. Okay? So it's a three-part process. Number one is you've got to start with your mind, right? You got to get logical with this decision. You want to start a podcast? Cool. Why? Right? Pros and cons, black and white. Make a list. Take the emotion out of it. Is it going to help you? Does it support your goals, visions, and dreams? If it's a hell yes, do it. Sometimes, though, that paper doesn't quite line up, right? The ROI is like, I don't know. That's where I turn the paper over. I put the pen down, and I ask myself, what would your heart say? I truly believe, y'all, that your heart will never steer you wrong. In fact, I believe it so much I tattooed it on my arm to remind myself every day to follow your heart. Because the world will put their fears in you to keep you playing small, and they don't even realize they're doing it. You've stopped trusting yourself. So trust your heart, trust your mind. And the third part is you've got to tune into your body, right? Your body holds so much wisdom, especially all the emotions and feelings that run through your body. Can anyone guess? And this is where, like, come on now, you guys are like dead out there. Can anyone guess what the biggest emotion is when it comes to making a powerful decision? Fear. Thank you. Yes, fear. Anyone else felt fear when it comes to like taking a leap of faith and you're like, oh God, I love fear. Because when I feel fear in the body, that's like the green light go. Because fear is a lot like excitement. I mean, right? I mean, has anyone ever had a decision and your pits are sweating and your heart starts racing and you're like, I don't know if I can do this? That's fear. That's excitement to me. So anytime I feel fear enter the body, that means go. That's the indicator light. So guys, whether you are getting healthy or learning to get wealthy, you're going to need to become a powerful decision maker. You have to be willing to change your circumstances. You have to decide that you are worth fighting for, like Leslie said yesterday. So let me close with this. The only person, y'all, standing between you and the life that you desire is you. So make a decision, be bold, be courageous, and go do you. My name is Karissa Adkins, CEO and founder of Alpha Queen Collective. And when you're ready to get healthy and wealthy, ladies, you call the Alpha Queen. I love you.